physically doing it.
I mean, do you feel like that's taken some time to develop over the course of what, maybe 2 months? I mean, for
Right.
all you got to do.
Yeah, it's taking time, but each week I think we're progressing very, very quickly with the offense and just keep improving just to try and be consistent.
And the second part of my question was, think back to that 2018 game against Indiana. I mean, that was kind of the breakout game for both you and Shakur. I guess, what do you remember about that game and those moments, and like maybe break down watching Shakur more from the sideline on that? I think he had a pick six, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. He had a pick six. I know we had just came off the field. It was a few plays down the drive. He got a pick six. That was a real momentum changer for us, a more momentum swing towards us. So we just took that and just watching Shakur play every day and just practice with him every day. He's a competitor, man. He loves to compete. We all do.
Our next question is from Rico Cooney with Spartan Magazine.
Hey, Jalen, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hey, talk a little bit about your room, and I think it's, Michigan State has had a history of a good wide receiver and complementary receivers in terms of speed, but I think this year, especially with you, Jaden, and Ricky, there's a lot of speed in that room. Talk a little bit about that and having that as an added weapon. And if you would be truthful, tell me who's the fastest between the three of you.
Between the three of us, I give myself the credit on that one. I say I'm the fastest for sure. But just knowing that we have a young room. Honestly, we don't really have plenty of old guys. We have a pretty young room, so there's a lot of development going on. There's a lot of potential being reached. So we just compete every day and try to push ourselves every day in the practice room. I mean, not in the practice room, but in the meeting rooms and out on the practice field. So it's just real fun, just knowing that we have weapons that guys haven't even seen. We have plenty of guys like Terry, Montori. We have guys that can go, and they're just waiting for that time to meet, and they're gonna be ready for it for sure.
Just as a follow-up, just because of the talent that you have in that room, does that make things, I guess, a lot more fun in practice, and then make you guys all a little hungrier, all knowing that the talent base there is probably the highest it's been in a while?
Yes, sir. It's just knowing that we have to work for our spot. Like not one starter on the team is given to us. We all been putting in the work. We all pushing each other. Even the young guys, Ricky stepped up when Trey Mosley went down. He stepped up, so that was his role. So I just like the way we compete and just improving on each other.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Lindsey Huddleston.
Thank you. Hey, Jalen. So much has happened in the last few months with the coaching change and just everything that's happening with COVID. From a mental toughness standpoint, what keeps you grounded? What do you focus on to, keep you in the right mindset with everything that's been happening with this season?
I would just say just loving football. Honestly, just wanting to play the game and just trusting in the coaches, knowing that they can protect us. Knowing with this COVID situation, we haven't had any outbreaks since in a while, so I think we're doing a great job with that. It's just it's been tough, but I like the way we've been coming along.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure.
Next question will go back to Matt Wenzel with Live.
Jalen, your first two seasons. Sorry, I had to do the math. You had a couple injury things, so you're limited to, I think, 12 games. But how did that outlook, what you went through, change your outlook going into this season, and how have you been able to establish some confidence, like you talked about earlier, being a consistent guy through 3 games?
Yeah, I just know I had to change the way I was doing things, just from a personal standpoint outside of football, just knowing that I gotta study more film, take all the rehab serious, get all the extra rehab I can get in, and just playing with confidence and just knowing that I can go out there and make plays. I just gotta be confident in myself. That's the biggest thing, just being confident.
Thanks, Jalen.
Next question will go to Jim Comparoni with Spartan Magazine.
Hey, it's great to have you on here. I could ask you a bunch of questions. I'll I'll try a couple here. You mentioned the rehab. You came back strong at the end of last year from the injury, and then everyone went through what we went through in the spring and summer. How did you handle rehab, or was it done by that time? And at what point did you get your entire speed back?
I was still rehabbing after the season finished. My foot still wasn't where I wanted it to be after the season, so I was still putting in the extra rehab even through quarantine back at my home. I was getting rehab from the trainers here, stuff that I could do. So I think it took a while for me to get my wheels back, but I think they're back now.
All right. Also, working with Courtney Hawkins for the first year, what have you learned from him? How has that helped your game, and what are you still looking to work on?
Learn from Coach Hawk, man. It's been a blessing knowing that he's been here. He's been a Spartan dog. Went to the league, played plenty of years. He has a lot of knowledge, and what he's trying to get to us, he's trying to spread that knowledge onto us, onto the field. Just knowing that the little things, even though it might be a simple block, we have to go get. We still got to go get those because we know we have to do our part in the run game to get to the passing game. So with Coach Hawk, he's just been trying to preach to us every day just to get better, and there's a standard in our room.
Has he helped you with route running or anything like that? Has there been some new concepts he's introduced to you in that regard?
I wouldn't really say concepts, but just learning how to be a better route runner. He's definitely helped with that, getting off the ball, getting off a press, releasing, and just making us as a whole group better wide receivers.
And real quickly, I apologize. One more. You mentioned Lockett and Montori Foster. What are those guys doing well? What can we see from them in the future? And also Trayvon Morgan, how's he been coming along?
They all been coming along great. They getting a playbook down right. It's just worry about playing fast with them, just knowing what they got. Just once they get to playing fast, and then you guys see what I'm talking about. But I like how they've been coming along the past few weeks, few months, honestly, since they've been here.
All right, I apologize for so many questions. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Next question goes to John with Detroit Sports Podcast.
Hey, Jalen, I appreciate the time. Thank you. I'm wondering what you like best about Coach Johnson's offense and how his scheme fits your skills.
I'll just say his willingness to go deep and take shots down the field. I feel like that plays into my role well because, I'm a speed guy, so you got to go deep sometimes. But I feel like he's implemented that a lot and just mixing it up here and there, just trying to get guys in space with the ball.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
We have time for a couple more. We'll go back to Chris Solari, the Detroit Free Press.
It actually goes into what I wanted to ask you about, Jalen. What makes a good deep passing combination? And when you're a receiver, what's the mindset when you hear a go route or a fly route, and you got to go against the guy and beat him?
Just win. Just trust your training. Trust your training that Coach Hawk has been telling us. Squeezing the red line, getting off a press, using our hands. Just trusting our training.
What makes a good connection with a quarterback on that route in particular?
Just taking reps in practice. Honestly, we connected plenty of times over the past few weeks, and then before that, it was a little shaky. We was hitting some, we wasn't, but now it's getting more consistent. Now that's the real great thing.
And what's the feeling and sensation when you do make that big hit in a game and the momentum swing?
I think we might have lost Jalen right there. He was in the.
You scared him, Chris.
Sometimes the connection in the building is.
Come on, Chris.
Don't blame me.
I'll see if you can hop back on for just a minute. Just a second. I think
that's him.
Again.
It sounds like him.
Oh man, my fault. I don't know what just happened.
There he is. Chris, if you just want to follow up just on your second question there to Jalen, then we'll have time for a couple more.
Yeah, you kind of answered most of it, but then the last part is when you do make that big play, when you get the big hit downfield, I guess what's the feeling and sensation as a receiver, and it's obviously different this year without a crowd there, but what does it do for momentum on a team?
It's a real momentum changer. Just knowing that Offense might not be clicking or so, hit a deep ball. We got momentum there. It just hypes the whole team up. Just making a deep play, knowing that we have a greater chance of scoring from there.
Looks like we have time for 2 more. We'll go back to Rico Cooney with Spartan Magazine. We'll finish up with Audrey Dahlgren with WLNS. Rico?
Jalen, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Shaq earlier. He referenced the I guess now old school hip hop artist in Jay-Z. I kind of thought Jay-Z was still relevant, but according to Shaq, he's old school. But talk about the music that you listen to, that you get hyped with before stepping out onto the field.
Well, lately, like the past couple of weeks, I've been listening to a new 21 Savage album. But usually I just listen to whatever my Cali music. I listen to California music for real before the games. I just relate to the music real well, so it just gets me going.
All right, so give me some of your Cali artists in.
We got YG, we got Nipsey, we got Blueface. Who else we got? We got. I listen to a lot of underground rappers, so people don't really know. So
okay,
yeah, but those like the big artists out there.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Our last question, we'll go to Audrey Dahlgren with WLNS.
Hey, Jalen. Thinking of how Coach Tucker was mentioning how, guys need to bounce back after what happened against Iowa. What's the importance and the vibe been like at practice in terms of reiterating that and making sure that you come back and you're ready to go come Saturday against a top 10 opponent?
Just being more physical. Our practice has been very physical the past 2 days. Just getting after it and just not taking plays off, just pushing through the grind, just knowing that we have another game. We have more games to play, and that one game is not going to affect us. We have more stuff to prove. We have stuff to get better on and stuff to improve on. So that's what we're doing on the practice field and in the meeting rooms.
If you don't mind too, then what do you think is maybe one of the things, not the inconsistency, but I mean, you have the opener against Rutgers and you haven't come out this phenomenal game against Michigan. Then you see what happened at Iowa. So, I mean, how do you hope that the trend doesn't keep kind of going in that roller coaster direction so you can stay consistent?
We just got to limit the mental errors and ways that we're beating ourselves on the field. That's the biggest thing that's been happening, just beating ourselves. We know that we're a great team. We know what we can do on the field. So it's just mental stuff that's blowing it for us.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, Jalen, I know you got to get to some meetings and practice, so we really appreciate you taking the time today. We'll see you Saturday in Spartan Stadium.
All right, no problem.
Thanks, Jalen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jalen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rico Cooney, 1996 is when Jay-Z's first album came out.
So that
I was in college. I got a review copy. So
that makes him old. That makes him like old school.
That's 25 years ago, a quarter century ago.
Right, but so you saying he's not relevant anymore?
You're not relevant anymore. We got to end this call.